This is not a clickbait title. I actually mean what I say, but I don't mean this channel. I mean that channel. This is my oldest channel and my longest running passion project, Vistas, Nature, and Wildlife Films, or for short, VNW Films. I created content anywhere from 15 minutes upwards of 10 hours, mostly just nature and landscape, waterfalls, running rivers, some wildlife, and capturing the natural ambiance of the scene that was around me. I was very much inspired by the 4K relaxation channel. This one has been around a lot longer than me. It's almost at 1 million subscribers. Well earned indeed. This creator has been at it for a long time, creating a lot of great content. And I found this content to be very inspirational. And I like to go outdoors. I like to travel. I like to see things. And at some point, many years ago, I decided, hey, I want to create the same kind of content, but I want it to be different than this. I want to go to different places and try to record it a little bit differently. Creating content like this is more than just driving somewhere, putting up a camera, hitting record for 8 hours, and heading home and just uploading off the SD card. It's actually a lot more involved. Driving hours, if not days, to a location, and then having to hike to the spot and hike for hours, carrying easily 30, 35 pounds of gear. You know, the camera, audio recorder, and then backup power for all your devices. That got pretty heavy. And then when you get home, there's the post-production side of all of it. So one of the things I had to do a lot of times was clean up the footage. Not all landscapes are going to be without people, right? And I didn't want people in my videos. So I spent a lot of time, digitally painting out and clone stamping people out of sections of the video. And if I did it right, you can never tell. And sometimes my only option is to shoot shorter clips and then make it loopable content. Like maybe I got 10 minutes of a scene without anybody walking around, because I don't want to spend hours and days on a 10-hour video digitally painting out people. That would drive me nuts. So I would get shots 5 to 10 minutes long without anybody in the scene. And then when I went home, I would carefully work on editing the footage so it would loop perfectly. Sometimes it wasn't a lot of work. Sometimes it really was, especially when you had like blowing trees and grass swaying, right? You just couldn't loop and blend the clips because you would see the fading in and out of the trees and the leaves, and just it didn't work. So there was a lot of tricks that I had to learn over time to make really clean, loopable shots. And then audio. Sometimes location is beautiful, but the audio sucks. There's either nothing, like it's too quiet, or like right behind you there's people, or maybe there is a road. Maybe you didn't have to hike and you were literally just off a road, but you had all this road noise behind you. Then what I had to do was find locations that had a natural ambiance that I felt would fit that original scene that I had shot, and then travel there and record audio samples from that. Now, rendering could take 2, 3, 5, 9 hours, all right, depended on a lot of factors. And then ending up with a file of around 200 gigabytes that would take several days to upload. But even once it was uploaded, my problems didn't end there. In my experience, 1 out of every 3 videos that I uploaded, the high-res versions would end up missing. And what I mean by that is, let's take a look at this video right here. It's unlisted. It's my most recent upload. If we look at the details, you see that there's SD, HD, and 4K versions supposedly available. But when we go to the video itself and we open up the quality dropdown, 360p. This is what I've been dealing with. Now there's an old trick you can use with YouTube. In case you upload 4K video, but the 4K resolution is never showing up, you could go to like editor and then apply like some effects, like a trim and cut, blur, some audio adjustments, and then come up here and go revert to original. And it would go into a few days of processing, but your 4K version would magically appear. But YouTube won't let you do these edits on long form videos. So you see trim and cut, blur, and audio here are all blurred out. So I can't use that trick. The only thing I've ever been able to do to resolve this is take my complaints to Twitter. That's like where all the tech support happens for YouTube. It's absolutely pathetic. But here's an example where I went to Twitter and I sent them a tweet saying, hey, why do my high resolution versions keep turning up missing? And they'll usually initially respond with something like this. It's really hard to get them to do anything unless the video has been uploaded for months, and in some cases, even longer. So here's an example from a video that took me over a year to get resolved. Now, I had a lot of tweets with YouTube where they just kind of blew me off. Finally, in this tweet, I was like, hey, I uploaded this on October 21st, 2021, and this tweet I made on January 25th, 2023. And this is one of the cases where they actually responded and looked into it and actually found my missing 4K version. But that has not happened for all videos. All right, they've completely ghosted me on a number of videos in the past. And this happens about 1 out of every 3 or every 4 videos. And the scope of this problem extends past my original content. I made a second channel where I did kind of the same thing, but I did it with game footage, a lot of Red Dead Redemption footage. I tried World of Warcraft environments. Nobody was really into that. I got some interest in my Red Dead Redemption material, but again, this channel didn't take off, so I've kind of stopped posting to it. But again, about 1/3, 1/4 of these videos I uploaded, I had troubles getting the 4K resolution. This really gets exhausting over the years, where every single video that takes days to upload could take months before it's posted. It just takes the wind right out of your sails. Believe me, it's been emotionally exhausting dealing with this. And here's the second issue that I have that's really killing my motivation, which is oversaturation. If we search for nature relaxation films and you scroll and you scroll and you scroll and you scroll, you're probably not going to find any of my content. There's a ton of it out there. And I'll admit, a lot of it is really well done. It looks good, but there's a lot of it that doesn't. And I know it's subjective to say that, but it's just a picture with some sound samples they threw behind it. But some people got really lucky and they got millions of views on that. And I thought being authentic, like going out, carrying all my gear, doing all this recording, would somehow resonate with viewers. And it just hasn't. But I also think because of the oversaturation, it's hard to find the viewers. Like hardly anyone knows I'm out there. I still have less than 1,000 subscribers after doing this for years. And I don't want to sound like a pathetic hater, honestly. And there's a lot of really good looking content. I mean, even the thumbnails look really good. This is a lot of competition. It really is. Speaking of competition, lately I've noticed some newcomers into the genre. Now, they're not really doing so much nature ambience. It's that ASMR or whatever. I'm seeing more and more of this. Here's one channel. She's already got over 169,000 subscribers with 4 videos. Each video has millions of views. And it's pretty much just ASMR content of a young lady in a thong putting up a tent. That's really it. And of course, there's the very clever use of titles. She uses young girl, young girl, young girl again. So that's telling me what people are searching for. People are clearly searching for young girl and not waterfalls or bison grazing in a field. And I'm not shaming her. She has the right to do whatever she wants. She definitely found a niche. I mean, 4 videos and look at the results. So doing very well. But at least this is her recording herself that she's giving herself consent for. And then you have low effort content like this. And I call it that because all it is people carrying around cameras at a public beach recording ladies in their thong bikinis. And that's it. All right, this is true. Just go out to a location, hit record, go home, and upload off the SD card. Here's a sample clip from one of his videos, just following around young ladies. And granted, this isn't illegal. I used to be a street photographer, and I know when you're out in public, you give up your right for privacy so people can take your picture, take video of you. And I'm not shaming these young ladies for what they're wearing. They have a right to wear whatever they want to wear. They look great. Maybe some of them don't mind being in these videos. Maybe they're like, hey, I look really cute. I don't care if the world sees me. And that too is also their right. But I can't help but look at channels like this one here, who has well over 250,000 subscribers and is even verified. And all he does is it seems like he just walks around the beaches of Brazil and just records ladies in their skimpy bikinis. And I'm going to guess that some of these creators are probably monetized. They're probably making money off public footage of young ladies. They probably don't have consent forms. None of that. So we come to my final point, the final nail in the coffin, if you will. The sheer number of times that I've had my content age restricted and even flat out removed. I've actually lost count how many times this has happened. And even though I have won every single appeal, I'm not going to lie, I'm absolutely burned out on this nonsense. And I get it. Content like this is not a violation of their policy. It's not illegal, but let's be honest, this is a bit creepy. To think there's a bunch of dudes following around young ladies with cameras is creepy. It is. And according to YouTube's algorithm, it's perfectly okay. However, my content of waterfalls, animals, maybe some instructional videos, oh, that's been problematic. That gets flagged. That's content that I get strikes against me and I have to appeal. This is simply exhausting to deal with, especially after you spent hours, if not days, traveling to film a location, then days editing it, then let's say 6 hours rendering, 3 days uploading it, and then you had to harass YouTube support for months on end to get your 4K content online, and then you get a strike. And this is the shit that burned me out. Absolutely burned me out. I guess I could justify it as part of business if I was getting subscriptions and views, but I wasn't. So it was a whole lot of hassle without a whole lot of return. And a lot of these creators are classifying their content as urban ambience. So the whole ambience, ASMR and all that, it started bleeding over into the whole nature ambience and relaxation that creators like me were making. And now you have an algorithm that's just full of content and content that I have no idea. How do I compete with this? I don't know anymore, but I know that I've wasted a lot of time on a channel that just hasn't grown. And I'll be honest, I was hoping on that channel to grow and monetize that content and just leave this channel for fun. And so I've basically watched my business fail in front of me, and it is kind of depressing, to be completely honest. And I think the best thing to do is to just move on and try something else. So I know how this is going to sound to a lot of people out there. Boo-hoo-hoo, I'm a whiny creator that failed. At least I admit to it, and I'm acknowledging it. And I'm sharing my failure because I know a lot of people out there are going to be in the same boat. They've tried and they failed again, and they don't know why they're failing. And sometimes it's just not you, it's timing. I mean, all these creators I pointed out today, all doing better than me. Yeah, good for them. That's some pretty good ROI. They put a lot less work into their content than I put into mine, and they're way beyond where I've ever achieved after all these years. So you know what? Good for them. I'm the failure here. And I acknowledge that, and I'm going to try to move forward, and I don't know with what, but at least I can spend more time on this channel. And I'm definitely not going to do what these creators are doing, though. I have no interest in following young ladies around a beach with a camera. That's just creepy. And I'm pretty sure no one wants to see me put up a tent in my thong. Or maybe you weirdos do. But hey, I've learned a lot over the years doing this, and I think I've learned what not to do. Now, if I can just learn what to do, that'd be great. Well, that's all I have for this video. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you again next time.